Now, from WYDC TV, this is Big Fox News at 10.
Thanks for joining us. I'm Anna Manuel. A war memorial in Ithaca was vandalized over the weekend, just 2 weeks ahead of Memorial Day. Big Fox's Josh Feldberg reports from DeWitt Park.
During the early hours of Sunday morning, the War Memorial in DeWitt Park in Ithaca was vandalized with an array of graffiti markings and tags. The markings were spread across the Tompkins County World War II Honor Roll, flagpole dedicated to soldiers who fought in Iraq and Afghanistan, and numerous other spots across the park's paths. The city of Ithaca has since washed most of the markings away, however, traces of the graffiti still linger across the memorial. Big Fox reached out to the Tompkins County Veterans Committee for comment, but did not hear back. DeWitt Park is often used for large public gatherings on Memorial Day and Veterans Day. There are still plans to host this year's service in the park at 11 a.m. on Memorial Day. The Ithaca Police Department has yet to identify the individuals responsible for the vandalism. IPD is encouraging anyone with information regarding the tagging to contact the department's tip line. Josh Feldberg, Big Fox News, Ithaca.
The identity of a teenager who drowned in Keokuk Lake over the weekend has been released. According to the Steuben County Sheriff's Department, 19-year-old Ahmad Ayaz was visiting the area with his family from Maryland. The family took a pontoon boat on the lake when Ayaz jumped into the water without a flotation device. Ayaz was unable to swim back to the boat and went underwater. Emergency services searched the lake for about 10 hours before the body was found and recovered. The New York Sheriff's Association wants parents to enroll their children in Operation Safe Child. The program, created in 2005, is a free service for parents. The Safe Child Card program captures fingerprints, basic biographical info, and a picture of the child. This information is all key to recovering a missing or exploited child. To enroll your child, you can email Sheriff James Bowers at the address on your screen. Family, friends, and fellow law enforcement officers gathered in Watkins Glen to honor fallen officers. Our Maggie Hall was at the memorial service.
Schuyler County Sheriff's Office Chaplain Reverend Michael J. Kelly invoked the memorial ceremony.
Holy and eternal God, help us in sadness and darkness as we remember our fallen heroes. Comfort and strengthen us as we honor those that have fallen. And may we, O God, pray that they have taken their rest from their labors.
This is the 4th annual Law Enforcement Memorial in Watkins Glen. This year it is held on Peace Officers Memorial Day.
To a certain extent, they are just ordinary people that live in our community. But they're ordinary people who've taken on an extraordinary task, an extraordinary duty, an extraordinary responsibility to their community, to our community.
The oath of office we all took does have greater meaning than just saying, I do. For when this career is done appropriately, it really is the best job in the world. Although we don't often hear it, we are appreciated by many in our communities. So as we go forward in public safety service, and as we remember those that paid the ultimate sacrifice while on duty, here in Schuyler County and throughout this nation, we salute these fallen heroes of law enforcement, and someone may ask the question, when does their glory fade? The answer, it never, never will.
A memorial wreath was laid. Each of the local members of law enforcement who died in the line of duty were named and honored with a flower. Even canine partners were honored at the memorial. This ceremony concluded with taps and the recessional of troops. Maggie Hall, Big Fox News, Watkins Glen.
Cazenovia College hosted its final commencement. The last class to graduate the college before it closes walked and accepted their diplomas over the weekend. Cazenovia announced its closure earlier in the year, citing years of financial struggle. A conclusion to close came after a projected budget for the upcoming school year had the institution at a several million-dollar deficit. Friends and family of Daniel Penny, the 24-year-old Marine veteran who is being charged with killing a homeless man on the subway, are speaking out. They say he's being railroaded for his part in the death of Jordan Neely. Alexandria Hoff has more.
The volume of support coming in actually led to the platform Give, Send, Go going offline briefly after getting overwhelmed. It reads on there that any funds that exceed legal bills will be donated to a mental health advocacy program in New York City. Now, Daniel Penny is currently free on $100,000 bond after turning himself in on Friday in connection to the May 1st death of Jordan Neely. Neely died after Penny held him in a chokehold. Witnesses say that the former Marine jumped into action on the subway to subdue the homeless 30-year-old who had been acting erratically and threatening passengers. Here's Penny's attorney.
He didn't enter the subway seeking to, harm anyone. He didn't enter the subway seeking to attack anyone. He was really putting himself in harm's way for the benefit of others.
On the second-degree manslaughter charge, Penny's cousin Justine Baldwin told the New York Post, quote, "It's disgusting. Here's a young man who served our country. He's a handsome, fun kid who could always be counted on when you needed help." But the family of Jordan Neely feel that Penny intended to cause Neely's death and that the charge should be murder, not second-degree manslaughter. An attorney for Neely's family said last week that people on the train should have simply lent a helping hand. Neely had over 40 prior arrests, and according to the New York Times, Neely's behavior had become so severe in recent years that the city had placed him on a watch list of 50 homeless individuals with untreated psychosis who had refused help. In Washington, Alexandria Hoff, Fox News.
Florida Governor Ron DeSantis spent the weekend crisscrossing Iowa. His visit to the state comes just days before he is expected to announce his presidential bid. Madeline Rivera reports from Washington on the GOP primary.
So great to be in Cedar Rapids.
Florida Governor Ron DeSantis making his pitch to voters in Iowa. The potential Republican presidential candidate had the Hawkeye State largely to himself over the weekend after former President Trump canceled his rally on Saturday.
The leader doesn't put their finger in the wind and try to see which way the wind's blowing. The leader should have the fortitude to chart a vision, to execute the vision, and deliver results.
The weekend offered an early glimpse into what could be in store for 2024, and voters are watching closely.
I do think that Ron DeSantis has some good policies. I'm concerned a little bit about some of the challenges that he's had with corporations in Florida.
More than 30 Iowa state lawmakers have already endorsed the Florida governor, who's shaping up to be former President Trump's most formidable opponent in the Republican primary. Trump stepping up his attacks on Truth Social.
The problem with Ron DeSanctimonious is that he needs a personality transplant, and those are not yet available.
Trump is still leading the GOP primary field in most polls, but a strong performance by DeSantis in Iowa could spell trouble for the former president.
If DeSantis can gain some traction in Iowa and win the first of the Iowa caucuses, things could that could give him some momentum going into the rest of the race.
DeSantis is expected to make his announcement in the coming days. Fox News confirms he could move his political operation into a new base in downtown Tallahassee, which he would have to disclose to federal officials. In Washington, Madeline Rivera, Fox News.
We have your complete workweek forecast straight ahead. Plus this.
New security measures could be coming to an airport near you. I'm Lauren Blanchard with a look at why some TSA checkpoints are using facial recognition technology. That's coming right up.
Here's your local stock market update from Big Fox. Now, your Twin Tiers forecast from Big Fox.
Pretty pleasant conditions have been bringing us into the middle of May. We've had a little touch in the temperatures here and there, but overall it's been giving us some relief, but summer-like feels at times, especially with this abundant blue sky. At times has been hazy, and we'll still be tracking some of those chances as well. But note that tonight we are staying underneath those clear skies, light northwesterly wind, but holding temperatures just around those mid-40s, a very typical May morning setting up. But as we roll into our Tuesday, note that we are tracking some changes. For the most part, the day
should stay on the warmer side as we are going to have some haze pushing on through and then holding off a cold front passage until the overnight hours. But it is a cold front that has a very strong cold air mass with it that is going to drop in some cool conditions through the middle of the week. Also will bring a few showers, but then we should be back underneath another high pressure system to bring us more of that blue sky, potentially hazy at times through at least the middle of the week. So setting up as we roll though into our Tuesday, it's going to be another beautiful sunny day. As we step into the afternoon, we'll watch those temperatures quickly climb into the 70s. We're already looking to be at 70 degrees by 11 a.m. and could see our temperatures flirt with 80 degrees. What may restrict some of that sunshine is going to be some afternoon haze. There's a large plume from those wildfires off into portions of Canada, dropping into the upper Midwest and then circulating across the Great Lakes region, putting in a plume of that smoke across New York as we step into Tuesday afternoon. Now, this clear sky behind that banding of some smoke is the high pressure system that will fill in, but this wildfires are still burning into Canada, so we will watch still for more of those plumes to potentially work into the atmosphere. But what we'll see is that smoke will move out and then a frontal system will drop in overnight. So as we go from Tuesday looking at highs anywhere from those mid to upper 70s, we will watch through the overnight. Those showers push on through and temperatures cool. Now, we will stay underneath some of that cloud cover, so we're not going to be watching temperatures hit that freezing mark, but it could be possible into Thursday morning. But at least Wednesday morning, this is still below average by about 5 to 10 degrees, even noting some areas like Westfield and Wayland falling into those mid-30s. Elmira just around about 39 degrees. Now, as some showers fall overnight, accumulation should be minimal, maybe 1/10 of an inch. It is very light and showery weather, but then we are going to be well in place underneath that cold air, which is going to bring back some sunshine on Wednesday, but we're not going to see much warming, holding temperatures nearly 20 degrees below average, as we should be into the lower 70s this time of the year, and we're going to hold into those mid 50s. Now, with how cool the day is for Wednesday afternoon and the clear skies stay in place Wednesday night, watch that Thursday morning's low temperatures fall to and below that freezing mark. So widespread frost and freeze headlines will be needed across much of the northeastern states. Now, we start to make some gradual improvements by the end of the work week, but note that there will be more shortwave sledding on through, bringing us roller coaster temperatures and more rain chances.